What if everything we've been told about autoimmunity is wrong? I'm Elizabeth Yarnell. After awakening partially blind one morning in 1999, a doctor told me my multiple sclerosis would put me in a wheelchair within 10 years. I refused to accept that as the end of the story, so I started investigating. Welcome to the Inflammation Investigator, the podcast that uncovers the inflammation lurking underneath your ailments. Because autoimmune and chronic conditions should not be viewed as death knells when they are actually alarm bells. I'm a traditional naturopath and founder of the Inflammation Academy. And in 2 episodes every week, we dig into what conventional medicine might be missing. If you're living with chronic or unexplained symptoms, this investigation is for you. Your body has been trying to tell you something. Let's start listening.
Redefining Autoimmunity. Based upon more than 2 decades of research and bolstered by my own MS journey, as well as my clinical work with hundreds of clients, I have arrived at a different interpretation of the word autoimmune. Rather than defining autoimmune as allergic to self, as discussed previously, I view most chronic illness as rampant inflammation that presents in the form of symptoms. Pain, discomfort, dysfunction, these are all clues that show us inflammation is present. We each react to a different set of triggers, and even the same triggers might manifest differently in different people. If yellow food dye is one of your triggers, your inflammation and your symptoms might look very different than mine do. However, if we commit to developing a practice of doing our own critical detective work, we can gain a better awareness of how we can affect our own day-to-day reality. That understanding can help us each develop personal life solutions that can transform our own futures. The responsibility of reclaiming one's health is too important to abdicate to others. What if, instead of depending upon expensive and uncomfortable drugs to suppress or short-circuit the immune system in the hope of preventing future flares and relying on yet other pharmaceuticals to relieve existing symptoms and side effects, we work to identify and eliminate the triggers behind the rampant inflammation in the first place? In 2011, I laid out my theory about the autoimmune and inflammation connection in a sort of manifesto and posted it to my website at elizabethyarnell.com and launched the Fight MS with Food project at fightmswithfood.com. In the ensuing years, I have guided hundreds of MS, autoimmune, and other chronic sufferers through protocols and therapies based upon this theory. It is indeed validating to report that almost everyone sees improvement, reduction, or even complete elimination of their symptoms within weeks or months of learning and implementing these steps. That said, I am careful never to use the word cure to describe this approach. Rather, it is a self-empowering awareness of eating and lifestyle changes that can have enormous success in reduction of symptoms. Never doubt how the relief from symptoms, regardless of if the symptoms are small and annoying or seriously crippling, can change your daily reality. While in many ways, my Fight MS with Food project manifesto, how hidden food and chemical sensitivities lead to autoimmunity and multiple sclerosis, is the precursor to this podcast, the information in the previous episodes provides a foundation for understanding the links between the science behind my hypothesis and how it applies to autoimmunity. What follows is unedited and unabridged. Some of it should feel familiar from previous episodes, but we're about to dig deeper into the science at the cellular level. If you feel your eyes beginning to glaze over, you should feel free to skip ahead in this podcast. Go forward a couple episodes. But in the next episode, you will hear the manifesto in its entirety. And I posit to say, you might learn something that could effectively change the rest of your life. Be sure to tune in to the next episode to hear about the inflammation and autoimmunity multiple sclerosis connection. Until then.
And that's another case filed on the Inflammation Investigator. Remember, every symptom is your body's way of communicating. We just need to learn the language. If today's episode sparked something for you, I want to hear about it. Share your own investigation discoveries with me on social media at Elizabeth Yarnell, or find me at elizabethyarnell.com. Your experience could be exactly what another listener needs to hear. And make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. And here's the thing about investigations. They work best when you're not going it alone. If this podcast is helping you uncover the answers you've been searching for, please like, rate, subscribe, and review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. As a new podcast, these actions mean more than you know. Want to dive deeper into your own inflammation investigation? Head over to inflammationinvestigator.com, where you can take my free inflammation quiz to uncover which hidden triggers might be affecting your health. Until next time, this is Elizabeth Yarnell, your inflammation investigator, reminding you that the solutions to your health issues are out there. Let's find them together.